Hey guys, I'm back with the second part of working capital management. In this video, we will see some solved problem sums on estimation of working capital management. So let's start. Estimation of working capital means you are estimating the future need of working capital required in any business. So, for calculating or estimating the future need, we need to consider the current assets and current liability of a business firm. In the previous part of working capital management, we saw the theory of the same, and we have also seen the format of working capital management. But for better understanding, let's once again see the estimation of working capital requirement and its format. So, this is the format for calculating the working capital requirement, where the table starts with current assets, where we consider minimum cash balance, inventories or stock that includes raw material, work in progress, finished goods, receivables from debtors and other bills receivables. The total of all the current assets is known as gross working capital, which we have named as A. Then we calculate current liability, which includes creditors for purchases, outstanding wages, outstanding overheads. Then we get the total of current liabilities, and after this we calculate the net working capital by subtracting current assets minus current liabilities. We have seen this whole procedure in the previous part of the working capital management video. You can find the link in the description below for part 1 of this. And considering this format only, we will see two problem sums so that we can better understand the concept of the same. Let's start with problem sum number 1. This is the question where you are given a pro forma of a cost sheet which includes particulars and amount per unit. We have been given in the question raw material per unit cost is rupees 80, direct labor rupees 30, overhead rupees 60 per unit. We get the total cost as 170 per unit. Adding profit of rupees 30, the selling price of a product per unit is rupees 200. Other than this, some of the particulars are given where the raw material in stock on average is 1 month. That means raw material can be held or the payment must be done in 1 month. Materials in progress, or you can also say work in progress, the completion stage is 50%, and on an average it can be stayed half a month. Finished goods in stock on average 1 month. Credit allowed by suppliers, that is credit allowed by suppliers is the creditor's time period is 1 month. Credit allowed to debtors is 2 months. Average time lag in payment of wages is 1.5 weeks and 1 month in overhead expenses. 1/4 of the output is sold against cash. Cash in hand and cash at bank is desired to be maintained at rupees 3,65,000. You are required to prepare a statement showing the working capital needed to finance a level of activity of 1,04,000 units of production. You may assume the production is carried on evenly throughout the year and wages and overheads accrue similarly. For calculation purpose, 4 weeks may be considered as a month. So this is the question. I know you must have not understood the whole, but we will segregate this one by one. So we have been given the price or amount per unit for raw material as rupees 80, direct labor 30, overhead 60. We get the total cost per unit is 170. Profit, by adding profit of rupees 30, we get the selling price for the product 200. This was given in the question. Other than this, you were given time lag for paying raw material in stock is 1 month. Work in progress is half month. Completion stage is given as 50%. Finished goods in stock is 1 month. Credit allowed by supplier is 1 month. That is the creditor period is 1 month. Credit allowed to debtors is 2 months. Payment of wages is done in 1.5 weeks. payment of overhead is done in 1 month, and 1/4 of the total sales is done in cash. Cash in hand and cash at bank are given as rupees 3,65,000. The total number of units the company produces is 1,04,000 units, and they have also said that 1 month can be considered as 4 weeks. And here we have to calculate a statement showing the working capital requirement for the firm. That means we will calculate the current assets and current liabilities that a firm holds or is liable to pay. So in this case we will prepare a statement showing working capital requirement, but before this we will see some of the working notes. So to solve this question, first we will see some working notes or the calculation to be done before making the statement of working capital requirement and some of the assumptions. So the total production given in the question was 1,04,000 units, and they also said that 1/4 of the sales is done in cash. That means 1,04,000 into 1/4, it gives us 26,000 units. So 26,000 units is the unit of production that is done through cash sales. So what will be the credit sales? Credit sales will be total sales minus cash sales. That is 1,04,000 units are the total sales minus 26,000 we calculated above, which gives us credit sales of rupees 78,000 units. So this was the first working note. Then the second is 1 year is considered as 52 weeks. Now if you have seen in the question, we have been given some time lag in weeks and some in months. So to maintain this in the same format, we will convert the month period into weeks, and we will do the calculation in weeks. Also, the calculation of current assets and current liabilities in terms of number of units will be done on credit sales only, because you are liable to pay only on the thing which you do on credit. So in this case, credit sales is nothing but the credit allowed to the debtors. So this is the working note. Now we will see the calculation or statement showing working capital requirement. For calculating or making the statement showing working capital requirement, we will prepare 3 columns: particulars, calculation column and amount column. If you remember the format begins with the calculation of current assets. The time lag given in the question were nothing but the amount we are liable to pay or we as a current liability, or the amount or things or goods we hold for a period of time. Current assets are those assets which we hold for a period less than 1 year. So we have raw material in stock with us, and the period for the same was given as month. Okay, so the total number of production is 1,04,000 units, and you need to produce whole, whether it is cash, whether it is credit. So total production 1,04,000 into price of raw material was given as rupees 80. So into 80 into the total amount or total lag was given as 1 month, but we have converted that 1 month because 1 month is equals to 4 weeks. So 1,04,000 into 80 into 4 divided by 52. It gives us current asset of raw material as rupees 6,40,000. Next is the work in progress. In the question we were given that work in progress is completed at a 50% stage. That means raw material, labor and overhead are used only 50% of its total capacity. So to calculate overall work in progress, we need to first consider raw material, labor and overhead in separate stages. So first let's start with work in progress raw material, where the total number of production is 1,04,000. Raw material cost was given as rupees 80. Okay, work in progress was holded for a period of half month. Now half month is equals to 2 weeks. So 1,04,000 into 80 into 2 divided by 52. The overall thing or overall amount will be multiplied by 50% because the completion was only 50% of work in progress. So raw material is equals to rupees 1,60,000. Same goes with labor, where the labor used will be 1,04,000. The labor cost per unit was rupees 30. 1,04,000 into 30 into 2 divided by 52, and the overall bracket will be multiplied by 50%. We get work in progress labor as rupees 60,000. Next is the overhead. Overhead are the expenses which are used, direct expenses that are used for producing a product. So 1,04,000 into per unit cost of overhead 60 into 2 divided by 52, and the overall multiplied by 50%. We get overhead for work in progress as rupees 1,20,000. Addition of all three, we get total WIP or total work in progress as rupees 3,40,000. After this, we have stock of finished goods for a period of 1 month, that is 4 weeks. So it will be also considered in current assets. 1,04,000 is the total production. The total cost of producing the goods is rupees 170 per unit. So 1,04,000 into 170 into 4 divided by 52. We get the finished goods cost as rupees 13,60,000. Next, current assets includes receivables as well. So for receivables we have debtors. Debtors are those persons or those business firms to whom we sell on credit. So credit sales we have calculated in the working note. Credit sales was 78,000 units. So 78,000 into total cost of 170 into 8 divided by 52. Why 8? Because debtors holding period was 2 months. So 78,000 into 170 the total cost into 8 divided by 52. 52 because the total weeks in a year is 52. So 78,000 into 170 into 8 divided is rupees 20,40,000. Okay, so after debtors, the last current assets that a company or this firm hold is the cash in hand and cash at bank, which amounts to rupees 3,65,000. So adding all of these, that is raw material, WIP, finished goods, debtors and cash in hand, we get the gross working capital, which we name as A, of amount rupees 47,45,000. Next, we will calculate the current liabilities. Now, current liabilities are those liabilities that a company is liable to pay within a year. So, the company is first liable to pay the creditors. Creditors are those from whom we have taken credit of supplies, that is the raw material, and the holding period or paying period of creditors is 1 month, which is equals to 4 weeks. So, for calculating the creditors, we consider the total production units of 1,04,000 into raw material cost per unit 80 into 4 divided by 52, which gives rise to rupees 6,40,000. After this, next liability is the payment of overheads, that is the outstanding overheads. For this, we will consider the total production 1,04,000 into per unit cost of overhead rupees 60 into the holding period of 1 month, which is equal to 4 weeks, that is 4 divided by 52. We get it as, we calculated it and we get rupees 4,80,000. And lastly, we have the outstanding labor. For this it was given that the paying period for labor is 1.5 week and the per unit cost is rupees 30. So 1,04,000 into 30 into 1.5 into 52. It gives us rupees 90,000. And the total of current liabilities, that is adding creditors, outstanding overhead and outstanding labor, we get the total of current liabilities as rupees 12,10,000, which we name it as B. Now we have calculated the total of current assets, that is the gross working capital, and the total of current liabilities. So we can calculate the net working capital requirement, that is current assets minus current liabilities, A minus B, that is 47,45,000 minus 12,10,000. It gives us rupees 35,35,000, and this is the net working capital requirement of the firm. And in this way we have calculated and completed our problem sum number 1. I hope you understood the calculation and formation of statement for the same. For better understanding of this concept, we will see problem sum number 2. You are supplied with the following information in respect of XYZ Limited for the ensuing year. Production of the year is given as 69,000 units. Finished goods in store, the holding period is 3 months. Raw material in store, consumption period is 2 months. Production process takes 1 month. Credit allowed by creditors is 2 months. Credit given to debtors is 3 months. Selling price per unit is rupees 50. Raw material cost per unit is 50% of the selling price. Direct wages 10% of the selling price. Manufacturing and administrative overheads 16% of the selling price. Selling overheads 4% of selling price. So here you can see the actual amount per unit is not given. You are given the percentages. So first we need to calculate the cost of each of these. Next, there is a regular production and sales cycle and wages overheads accrue evenly. Wages are paid in the next month of accrual. Material is introduced in the beginning of the production cycle. You are required to ascertain the working capital requirement. So in this case also, we have to prepare a statement showing working capital requirement for the firm named XYZ Limited. So in the question we are given, first we will calculate the pricing of each of these, that is the raw material, direct wages and administrative overheads. So particulars, firstly we were given selling price per unit as rupees 50. In the question it was mentioned that raw material is 50% of selling price. So 50% of rupees 50 is rupees 25. The 25 per unit is the cost of raw material. For wages we were given 10% of selling price. That means 50 into 10%, that is rupees 5 per unit is the cost of direct wages. And lastly we are given manufacturing, administrative and overhead expense 16% of selling price, which calculated gives us rupees 8 per unit as the overhead cost for the firm. Okay. In this case we were given selling price as well, or selling overhead expenses, but we won't consider this because in direct expenses we consider only manufacturing and administrative overhead, and selling overhead is not to be considered, so we don't calculate the same. Also, if you take it in another way, manufacturing expenses are required in the work in progress thing, but selling expenses is not considered in work in progress thing. Next, if you see the question, we were only given the late payment option for wages. There was no such mentioned in the question for overhead, so we haven't calculated the selling cost. Next, we were given production for the year 69,000 units. Finished goods in store were kept for 3 months. Raw material and consumption 2 months. Production process. Okay. In this question, there was no complete stage given for work in progress. It was only mentioned that the completion process is 1 month. So the material is used 100% because material will be used in the overall process completely. So production process, that is WIP process, is 1 month in which material is used 100% and wages and overhead are used 50%. Credit allowed by creditors is 2 months. Credit given to debtors is 3 months, and wages period of paying is 1 month. So these all things were given in the question, which I have segregated in a simple tabular format. Now we will see the statement showing the working capital requirement. For calculating the statement or the working capital requirement, we will make 3 columns: particulars, calculation column and amount column. First, we will calculate the current assets of the firm XYZ Limited. So, current assets are those assets which a company hold for a period less than 1 year. And the first current asset here is the raw material which a company holds for 2 months. Now you can see every calculation was given in months only, so we will do it in months and not convert into week. So raw material, the total production was 69,000. Per unit cost is rupees 25 and the holding period for raw material was 2 months. So 69,000 into 25 into 2 divided by 12, which gives us raw material of rupees 2,87,500. Next is the work in progress. In the particulars, we have seen that material for raw material for work in progress is used 100%. So 69,000, the total units to be produced, into 25 into 1 divided by 12, because the process of production is 1 month, which gives us raw material for work in progress is rupees 1,43,750. Labor and overhead are used of a capacity 50% because the material is still in progress. That means some wages, that is the labor work and the expensive work, is to be done in the production. So 69,000 into 5 per unit cost of labor into 1 by 12 into 50% gives us labor cost as rupees 14,375, and overhead for work in progress 69,000 into 8 per unit cost into 1 divided by 12 into 50% is rupees 23,000. So we get the total WIP, that is by adding material, labor and overhead of WIP, work in progress, we get rupees 1,81,125. Next is the finished goods, and the total cost of finished goods will be addition of raw material cost 25 plus 5 of labor plus 8 of overhead, that is 38 rupees. So finished goods 69,000 into 38 per unit cost into 3, because the holding period of finished goods is 3 months, divided by 12, which gives us rupees 6,55,500 as the current asset cost of finished goods with the firm. And lastly, in the current assets we have debtors, that is receivables. So for debtors, here we will consider there was nothing given for sales, whether it is cash or whether it is credit. So we will assume that the whole sale, that is the total sales, will be the credit sales. So 69,000 into 40 into 3 divided by 12, which gives us rupees 6,90,000. Now here this 40 is 38 plus 2 rupees of selling and distributive expenses. Okay, so 69,000 into 40 into 3 divided by 12 is rupees 6,90,000. So by adding raw material, WIP, finished goods and debtors, we get the gross working capital of rupees 18,14,125. Next we will calculate current liabilities, that is those liabilities which a firm, that is XYZ Limited, is liable to pay within a year. For this, he has to first pay the creditors, because the credit allowed by suppliers is only of 2 months. So 69,000, that is the raw material cost of rupees 25, because you can take credit only for the materials. So 69,000 into 25 into 2 divided by 12, we get the creditors amount of rupees 2,87,500. Wages are paid in the next month. So 69,000 into per unit cost rupees 5 into 1 divided by 12, wages comes to rupees 28,750. The total of creditors and wages is the total current liabilities named as B, rupees 3,16,250. Then we calculate the net working capital requirement by subtracting gross working capital minus total current liabilities, A minus B. We get the net working capital requirement of XYZ Limited as rupees 14,97,275. And in this way we have completed the problem sum number 2 for the same. I hope you guys have understood the concept of calculation of working capital requirement. You can find the extra sums for practice and link for part 1, that is the theory part of working capital management, in the description below. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.